Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of the JOL Wedding Podcast. We're now in season 3 because it's been a fair while since we've been back.
Hello and welcome back. It has been a while actually, isn't it?
It's been a whole wedding season.
It's been a whole, manic one.
And a very crazy one.
And a hot one actually. This season actually has been
pretty much
really quite a hot one. Last year was a washout, and actually this season it's actually been quite warm.
It's been very, very warm. Very, very warm. But today, what we wanted to kind of bring on was bring our very good friend Beth. So hello Beth, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Thank you for coming on. So Beth, do you want to introduce yourself to all our listeners or viewers who are watching this and they can understand who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. So, hello, I am Beth. I am a wedding and events planner. I'm under Boutique Weddings and Events. So, I offer different packages. I full wedding plan or I coordinate your wedding day for you. We met at Hawkston Hall.
We know you really, really well from Hawkston Hall, actually.
Known you for years.
So that's where I got all of my experience. And it's an incredible venue, and I'm so glad I got to meet you guys there. I've met some incredible industry connections there.
Besides, you want to go?
Yes.
You want? Yeah. Screw this. I'm doing it myself.
I'm doing this.
I'm good enough. I'm going on my own. No.
Well, you are good enough.
Thank you. I honestly, I love weddings. Like that's why we're all here. We love weddings. And I obviously saw the magic of them at Hawkston and just wanted to expand it. And I love being able to work for the couples. I often advertise myself to the couples as I'm their boss. So they're basically paying me to
boss them around.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So
do that to James actually.
It's good. It's a good way to earn your money actually. But yeah, so that's what I do. I'm here to talk all sorts of tips and tricks, and my Instagram's full of them at the moment. That's what I'm trying to sort of.
I've been loving seeing all them.
This is what we love, and this is why we do this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. It's to sort of give out to the couples that are either coming up to their wedding or planning. It's just to where do you go, and that's obviously why you guys are here.
Yeah. So after the kind of busy year that we've had doing all this, and it has been a very busy year. Mm-hmm. The main reason we want to bring you on is talk about timings of a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I think that lends itself to your business because that is you help plan and do that time frame on
the day events coordinator. You run by timings. That's your life.
Absolutely,
your life is timings.
It's literally my schedule, my clipboard with my timeline on. If that goes missing, then the world's ended. No, it is very. I think weddings are. I think because it's one day and you pack so much into it, and it's a lot of money and a lot of time gone into it.
Yeah.
Having a timeline is so important. And I also think having someone there to run that timeline is as important.
Yeah.
I think a lot of time, and I'm sure you've had experience with this. A lot of people will rely on the photographers to get those formalities going. It's not your job.
No.
It's not your job. You've got so many other things to focus on, taking photos, and the whole part of your job is to not be running the wedding.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I've got I get a bit sick of is I'm not sure about you how you feel.
It's keeping things on track because we're there to do the jobs. We need to take the photos.
Yeah.
And if we know you're getting married at 1:00 and you're still in hair and makeup at 12:30, we know things are going to run late. And it's actually the photographer that sucks up the majority of the time.
Yeah.
If things are late, it's us that has to work that 10 times harder to get things back on track. The photos done very, very quickly. So then you are still sat down for the time that you've said. And this is what happens.
This is the thing. We want to keep you with your guests as much as possible. So we don't want to be dragging you out because, it's not a photo shoot. You want to be with your guests all the time. So
and having that time because we did a wedding fair yesterday, and I sort of said to people, especially with photographers, like some photographers do, you book them on timing, so you book them on 5 hours, 10 hour, whatever hours. So we know actually weddings never run on time, and actually it's the photographer that sucks up that time if things are running a little bit late. We worked a little bit harder to make sure you're still sat down at 3:00.
But like you're saying about obviously people relying on their photographers to kind of run the day, but this is what the venues need to be there for.
Absolutely,
having their coordinates. I've worked at a couple of venues this year, and I'm not even sure if it was a wedding coordinator. Nowhere to be seen. Literally nowhere to be seen. And the photographer I was working with was busting her balls to be able to actually just get the couple out, get them in on time, and try and stay on time.
Well, that's where I sort of try and sell myself in that a venue coordinator is very different to a wedding planner in the sense of I've done both. I've done venue coordination at Hawkstone, and now I do wedding planning. I know the differences. The venue coordinators are there to make sure the venue's up to scratch. You know that the behind the scenes is all working. Whereas I think a wedding planner is there so they're there for bride and groom, and they are there to make sure that day is running like clockwork. Some venues are very, very good at it. And like I say, I'll give them a shout again, but Hawkstone were brilliant at it because they are very on it. There's some venues that take a bit more of a step back, like dry hire venues. There's just somebody there on site to make sure the place doesn't burn down, essentially. So I'd always say if you've booked somewhere like a dry hire venue, consider hiring a coordinator.
We recommend that all the time.
Yeah, and again, marquees are a completely different ball game. You know, it's literally a tent in a field.
Same with DIY weddings, literally.
Yeah, absolutely. So so for your timeline sense of it, it's 100%. I think having a coordinator there on the day is so important so that it doesn't fall down to you guys.
And actually, it just makes everyone at the wedding focused on the wedding, because sometimes you'll get, if you haven't got a on the day coordinator, it's left to your best man to get guests in. It's left to
and they don't want to do that.
No,
best man doesn't want to do that. He wants to be getting drunk. He's got his speech to worry about, let alone worrying about 100 guests.
Even like having your best friend as your MC, you still, even if they're your master of ceremonies, they still aren't in charge of the timeline. No. They're there to do the announcements. So you still need someone.
They're not going to get the guest that is sat outside still drinking.
No, exactly. You still need someone to go and tell the MC, right, this is your next announcement. This is what you've got to say.
But liaise with chef as well. So if you've got outside caterers coming in, they say, because you're sitting down at 3:00.
Yeah.
But it's not their job to then go and get people to sit down.
You sit down late and your food goes cold.
Absolutely.
Or not their fault.
Or check if the mic's working and the amps and everything like that.
I think this year, a lot of people have been caught out by cramming so much into their drinks reception, and I mean so much. Which I think people have just been caught out by that, whether it be they can't get all their photos done in time, they can't go and speak to everyone they want to go and speak to because they're doing so much. Room reveals they can't do, which we'll kind of go on to later, but. But yeah, they're just getting overwhelmed with how much they're putting into it and what they're getting out of it.
I think when we've sort of thought about this podcast, you listen to so many other podcasts in the wedding industry, and it's supplier talking to suppliers, and it's not couple focused. This podcast is for you guys. It's for you to help you plan. So all the tips and tricks and things like that. So you're busy cleaning, listening to this. Just stop for a minute, grab a pen and grab a pad and listen to the tips that we are teaching you, and it's really going to save you so much heartache and so much stress and things like that. So the main thing, obviously, we said why we got you lovely lady on this podcast is timings.
So I think if we start at the beginning, so obviously the first thing you have to book on any planning is where you get married. So you get your venue, and I think the first thing is you set the time for your ceremony. So the registrar is usually the next thing you book. If you're going for a civil ceremony, or if not, if you're going for more of a religious one, you're going for a church. Again, you go and find the church that you're getting married at, and you start with your time. Yeah,
absolutely. So on average, the most likely time for a ceremony in the UK is at 1:00, and I would always suggest to couples 1:00, perfect. You don't want to start too early because it means you're rushing in the morning, and you don't want it too late because everything else is then rushed for the rest of the day. So 1:00's ideal, 1 to 2 I'd say latest. And then you work your timings around that. So you can then work out your morning schedule. I always say to brides, be in your dress an hour before the ceremony.
Definitely.
So then, you work backwards. You can work with your hair and makeup artists on how much time
I say the exact same thing, because, if you want photos like your bridesmaid reveal, dad's reveal, any just photos of you, bridal portraits or anything like that.
We also have it that I want to give the bride about a quarter of an hour without any photography and videographer there.
Just on her own.
Because she's there with the bridesmaid, she's there with her parents, and it's just that they haven't got a camera there, and it's just
nice.
Just be in that moment then, that this is their last moments as being a single person.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so I love to have given that 15 minutes, and I think so many of our couples
not
are
only
more,
that, she's
more
with
appreciated.
she's with her family, she's with her mum, she's with her dad, she's with his sisters, with all the bridesmaids or something like that.
Yeah, and logistically as well, getting into a wedding dress is difficult. It's not like putting a slip on. You know,
No.
a lot of them have the buttons down the back with 30 odd buttons. You got.
Oh yeah, it takes time.
It takes time.
I'm not speaking from experience.
I'll show those photos later.
Like out of Friends. Yeah. They were just sat in the dresses.
I got a picture of Dad actually in
a wedding dress.
That was at Friends Fest.
I got a picture of James in a wedding gown.
Wait, he probably only went up to that there on him.
The thing is, though,
across his chest.
The thing that sticks in my mind, he actually rolled his trousers up, so you can still see the trousers underneath.
which is really funny. But I was going to say something then. I can't remember what I was just going to say. But talk about the bride getting in a dress an hour before. Because usually a lot of them are starting to get into their dress an hour before rather than being ready an hour before. I worked with a photographer most recently. She went, well, yeah, that's when you need to be in it, because if you're not... She's basically saying that she's not taking liability for you not being ready and not getting the photos because you're not ready.
Yeah.
So that's when you really need to speak to the people in the morning who are going to run the morning, like your makeup artist, like your hairstylist, and get the timing sorted out for the morning.
And who goes when?
And who goes when?
Because we've had one where
depends how many bridesmaids you've got.
Yeah, it depends on your
if you've got 3 or 4, great, fine. You can be able to work through that, because the thing is you've got mums as well, and extension families where you've got stepmums and they're having their hair done or makeup done.
It can literally take hours.
Yeah, but then you had 10 bridesmaids and the additions onto that. It's like, how many people are having them? Makeup done?
It's not just like...
You're up from 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So we say, like, okay, get married at 1 o'clock. Okay, so we'll do this for a civil service. So obviously it gives the listeners an idea.
We'll dip in and out of the different variations.
So say we got married at 1 o'clock at a venue. So we're saying be in your dress for 12 o'clock. So you're in your dress at 12 o'clock. It sort of then goes, actually, I've got 3 bridesmaids, mother of the bride and the bride herself. Then you sort of know, you can then sort of tell what time, ask your hair and makeup, okay, how long roughly does it take you for the bride, because the bride takes longer than a bridesmaid, to do hair, makeup. Then you can work out actually what time you want your breakfast. Yeah. Yeah. Is it worth having some extra snacks brought in, or some sandwiches or something like that, or having your breakfast, if it's continental style, out for that little bit longer, so then if bridesmaids in makeup, she can still finish her makeup, then still carry on eating and things like that. So it's really, really important, and you know what time your makeup artist arrives as well. We've had one makeup artist arrive an hour late for a wedding this year, and that wasn't her fault. It wasn't. It was just circumstances that she
ended up being an hour late.
She ended up being an hour late. So then everything then starts being rushed. She got everything done. She did absolutely amazing. But it just means that stress level is heightened a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. And then obviously we've had one. The bride was in makeup for an hour and a half. So then she needed to have her hair done. And we were looking at, obviously, the venue going, and I was going, okay, she needs to be an hour and 12 o'clock. Okay, so I sort of said to the hair, I was like, how long? She went 45 minutes. So I'm thinking, this is way past the 12 o'clock now. And
this is basically the time that the hair was going to be done. She had 15 minutes to get into her dress and then have a meeting with the registrar. So.
Well, I was going to actually mention that. So obviously, we say an hour before. Let's say we're saying 1 o'clock ceremony. Yeah. You know, it might actually only be 45 minutes because they need that 15 minutes.
You got to see your registrar,
and, you know, as we all have known, the registrars often have a second wedding to get to. They ain't going to wait around.
Yeah, especially from 1 o'clock, you know, because the civil ceremonies only last around about 15 to 25 minutes.
About 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Depending on what package you have and how many vows you have and things. Because, readings as well. But I'd probably say the average time from me filming one is around about 20 minutes ish from there, from what I'm seeing on my cameras. But then you need to factor in that time. You need to factor in that. But then if they've got a wedding a couple of, an hour later.
Yeah, they ain't going to wait around. They'll be gone.
No, they've got to travel to that next venue, do another 2 meetings with the next bride and groom. Because if you're late and you make them late, you affect another wedding.
Absolutely.
Obviously, that shouldn't be what you're worrying about. It's something completely different.
But you made a good point in that, if your morning ends up rushed, the stress levels will just increase.
It starts increasing.
So you just...
From straight away.
Yeah. And you don't want to set that day off on that bad foot.
You don't. You want that nice, relaxed, and it's just more... you're just chilling.
Yeah,
everything.
absolutely.
You've got your music on the background. You've got some fizz and everything like. You want that to be that relaxing morning.
It can be relaxed, just not too relaxed.
Yeah.
If you're I've had it before. I've had it too relaxed, and then you get to that final hour, and you go like,
and it is that final hour.
That final hour is on 3 times speed. It's crazy. So so with the ceremony time, I'd always say you almost have 2 timelines, and I did a blog on this a couple of last year, and it's you have your on the day timeline and you have a morning schedule. Like you have it. It sounds almost a bit like Taipei, like a bit too extreme. If you've got that schedule for the morning, it then is reducing that stress. It's reducing the chances of anything going late, and it means that you can set the day on a good foot.
Yes,
that's how it needs to be. And again, have someone there that isn't having. If you're having a DIY wedding, have someone there to liaise with suppliers that are turning up at 10:30, or have someone there to be putting out the final touches in the ceremony. And then you can focus that morning on just getting ready with your girls.
No, obviously I said I wanted to dip into different variations of ceremony. Obviously we've just been talking about civils, but then again, if you're having a church, even more so, you need even more time.
Yeah.
Because you have to factor in travelling to a church.
Yeah.
I've had it this year where you've had to travel half an hour. You haven't travel half an hour in a church, and the wedding cart takes a little bit longer.
It's not a modern one.
It's not a modern one. Traffic,
something
always happens. So you need to probably give yourself a good amount of time for travelling.
Yeah.
So then you need to factor that in. So then your makeup artist needs to be there another 45 to an hour earlier, so you can then again have any photos that you wanted. But then just so you're ready and you're on time and you can get there.
Just be realistic with that timings. Your makeup artist will tell you how long it roughly takes for them.
Yeah, they will.
So trust your suppliers,
work with your
listen
suppliers,
to them.
And but then from that ceremony time, again, say we go back to a civil, then obviously you're coming out from your civil, and you then into your drinks reception. The majority of our couples want big group shot. Yeah. So ideally, that's the first shot that we tend to
come out, you do your confetti, you do your big group shot, and then you start heading into kind of doing your family formal portraits and things like that. But I think probably what's the average time? Would you say? I think it's about an hour and a half. A drink reception.
Yeah,
it'd be an hour and a half.
I always suggest 2.
Yes.
2 hours.
I've started listening to other podcasts. I've listened to other people talk, and
experience.
I have suggested having 2 hours. I did one wedding the other week, and they got married at 4:00. And this is in September, and obviously you get about an hour and a half for your drinks reception. I said go for 2 hours, because obviously getting married at 4 in September, lights going a lot sooner. I think we ended up going a little bit late that day anyway, so we probably still got that hour and a half because we got a bit of time chipped off due to lateness, but it just gave them more time with their guests, obviously getting any photos. For me, after that, when it goes dark, I can't get anything. As a videographer, I can't get anything. But then they just enjoyed it. They were so stress-free. They had their time with their guests, and they get to go in and just enjoy their meal afterwards.
Yeah. I think, 2 hours, it seems, I think some people look at 2 hours as too long. But if you're factoring in, and like you said, there's a lot crammed into the drinks reception. So, you want enough time for your caterers to do canapé service. You want enough time for everyone to have, a couple of drinks.
Welcome drinks,
mingle with the guests, and like you say, and then for bride and grooms themselves, or it's making sure that they've got time to do those portraits and family pictures and have a drink and have canapes and speak to their guests. Do you know what I mean?
This is the thing where you've been to a wedding as a guest and you're the one sitting there for 2 hours. Yes, it may feel a little bit long. But then, as a bride and groom, it's completely different. You are going through that. You go through all the stages of that drinks reception. Very, very different. Everyone's wanting to come and say hello to you, so it's going to go very, very quick for you.
Absolutely. Yeah,
it's going to go very quick.
We're doing a later podcast on things like this, but Owen made a really good point about as a guest.
Oh, I made a good point.
You'd be like, oh my god, this is so boring. When we eating, I'm starving. When are we eating? Oh my god, I'm so bored. Oh, don't have another drink because we'll be going in a minute. And then and actually, I love the wedding signs that says. Again, tell your guests what's happening at what times.
Then they know.
So I would say we've had weddings where we're going, right, Uncle Bob, where the hell is Bob gone? Oh, he's gone to check in.
Yeah.
But if he had a wedding sign that goes, actually, we're getting married at 1:00, photos at this time, food at this time, speeches at this time, your guests will go, oh, okay, then we're sitting down at 4:00.
Yeah. I'd also even suggest,
so I know,
with like family portraits, pre-warn them and say, we're going to want you in this time of the day because we're going to be having family portraits. So it's, your couples will send you the shot list, send that to the guests as well. Don't leave it up in the air that, they might be needed for photos.
Yeah.
Then they know, and it just keeps it ticking a bit smoother.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny, isn't it, with guests just like sort of running off. I feel like as a wedding coordinator, it's funny because I'm more of a sheep herder than I thought I'd be.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it? It's like very much like, right, move them on to the next bit. Let's find so-and-so.
It is hard trying to get, and again, this is why you think about your suppliers. As a photographer, I'm the one going, right, can I have so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so? Can you go meet James over there? And then I'm taking more natural ones, and then I know which shots he's on next. Okay, I need so-and-so and so-and-so. Can you go meet James over there? And it's easier that I'm ushering people to him, so then he's got those people there to take photos. But when we talk to so many couples and they go, I want to see everybody, I want to talk to everybody, and you'll always have the guest that wants to chat for hours to you, and you're trying to mingle and trying to get round to everyone and saying hello, because that's why you invite them. You want to spend time with your people, but it's really hard factoring that time. And I want to say about the 2 hours. Say you get married at 1:00, so you're coming out at 1:30. It's 2 hours from then. It's not 1:00, drinks out, then obviously you, the 2 hours. It's from you time after you service.
The drinks reception,
2 hours.
The drinks reception also is obviously, you're going to book things for guests to be able to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well. So, people have lawn games, stuff like that. Live music, so they can listen to something. Yeah,
clay pigeon shooting. I've seen before.
Magicians, live illustration artists, caricaturists.
Even to little games a lot of people have like the crosswords that people can fill in.
All little board games.
So
and
there's
stuff.
so many things that you can do with your guests, so that your guests aren't just sitting around and being bored and going, oh my god, I'm starving. And you'll always get inform your guests that check-ins, if it's a hotel, check-ins after the wedding breakfast, because you can always guarantee someone's gone to their room, they've gone to the car park to get their bags, to go to the room, and then changing their shoes, and they're thinking about them, and they could be wanting for photos, like you say, having a good chance to tell your family, actually you are going to be involved in the in family photos. Can you make sure you don't check in until this time? So from there, obviously then speeches, we've had one so obviously you're going to go sit down, so obviously factor in time you want to go and see the reveal of your wedding breakfast room.
So we were saying before, the room reveal, I always suggest to couples to have one. It's where most of your time, money and effort has gone into, so make sure in that timeline you just have 2 to 5 minutes to go in and look at your work, because it's the most beautiful part of the wedding day. And so again, it's just making sure that's factored into the timeline.
I swear, realistically, you're going to spend the highest amount of time in your wedding breakfast room.
But actually, you only
in one place.
Yeah, but you only see what you spent your money on for 5 minutes.
Because
for 5 minutes, that's it.
All the little people get scratch cars or whatever, and all the little favours, they all get trashed. They get eaten if there's sweets or something like that.
But
you don't see it.
To see that, and again, you
only see it in your pictures afterwards.
Brides and grooms will have Pinterest boards, and they'll go, "Oh, this is what I want it to look like," and blah blah blah. And you'll see other pictures on maybe the Instagram of the venue, and they see the rooms decorated beautifully, and like you say, you spend a fortune to make it look like that. And if you don't ever see it, you're like, oh my god. And all you see is, and all your guests are in sat around the table. So you don't
appreciate it when the guests are in.
No.
So timeline wise, we say drinks reception are finished at 3:30. You then need that half an hour to do a room reveal. And to sheep herd your guest into that room, because again, it's not necessarily, it depends on your guest size. I often actually find though sometimes the bigger numbers are easier to get in.
It's because they're in big clusters, so they'll just follow.
They all follow. Whereas with the smaller ones, they take it. I think the smaller guest size find it a little bit more relaxed. They think, oh, we're not strict on timings today because there's only 40 of us.
So I'll go get another drink. I'll go to the bathroom. I'll go to the car and nip there and grab something. No, get in the bloody room.
Because the vibes chill, they're chill, so they're not. But the timings are still off.
Speaking on guests, you were saying about guests, I'm so hungry and stuff. Make sure you have something to eat before you bloody come to the wedding.
No, it's really hard though. Like we were lucky.
So if they're getting married at 1 o'clock, have something. Have a big breakfast. Have a big breakfast. Have something. Bring something with you. Just that.
So this is when we're going to argue. So we were lucky. James's brother Sam got married to Lydia this year. Congratulations, guys. And we were actually guests at a wedding. But we know. I lucky had a makeup artist.
Dad got drunk.
Oh my god.
Why not?
Full.
At 2 o'clock in the morning, red wine spew everywhere.
Oh, love it.
It wasn't actually. It wasn't that bad. I think Lewis was that bad. That he made full, advantage that he was not shooting a wedding.
Why not?
But we were there as guests, so they had a live singer. It was lovely listening to them. But when we were getting ready in the morning, okay, I had a makeup artist came and did my makeup. I was rushing around in that morning, and I literally had a croissant. Yeah, and I think I had some fruit, had a banana, and that's all I had.
But that's your fault, isn't it? You should have factored in more time for your morning.
But you don't, because then obviously they've got to factor in getting kids ready, and you got to get your husband ready, and then travelling to the church and everything like that. Actually, guests forget to eat the breakfast, and make sure. Yeah, it is hard.
So this is one for the guests. Make sure you fucking eat.
Language, Timothy. But it is the case of. And I also turn and say about people go about canapes and things like that. Canapes are expensive, and obviously if people are on a budget, that's maybe one thing that they could cut out. Mm-hmm. But even things like crisps walls and sweet carts, gives them something
one of my videographer mates said that after the wedding ceremony, the couple actually went to go and cut the cake, and so they would cut the cake up and they'd actually deliver the cake as canapes.
Oh, I quite like that.
I like that.
That's a good idea.
You're not left with 2 tiers of wedding cake.
I thought that was really
idea.
nice.
Yeah.
Gets eaten.
Yeah,
gets
eaten.
Does,
yeah. The amount of wedding cake I've seen go in the bin is so heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. But it's just because
this is why I struggle to lose weight.
Oh my god,
wedding cake.
It's me in the back just munching away. That's where it actually goes.
Beth comes out with frosting all around her mouth.
But yeah, I like that idea. And I think canapes as well, there's so many different options. So I'm front of house manager for a catering company as well, and they do some incredible different options. They call them substantial canapes. They're basically like burgers that come round. So you could opt for
they're really good.
Yeah, so good.
I know.
The sausages are my favourite. Anytime they're out sausages, honey mustard ones.
Yeah.
I want to know how they make them. Sorry, I keep interrupted.
If you had,
I'll keep going. I'll keep interrupting.
Will you start off? If you had the big canapes, that would be good, and not have a starter.
Absolutely, yeah. So you don't, if you can have the bigger canapes and then skip a meal,
a starter,
and you're saving money.
Yeah. And actually, you're saving time.
Yeah.
Because you're not sat down for your wedding breakfast for so long.
Yeah.
But then again, you have to factor in what kind of wedding that is. So maybe for a DIY wedding or a dry hire, that may work where you have to bring in outdoor caterers. But obviously, then if you're having a wedding venue, that obviously within their package, it is a 3-course meal.
Yes,
that is very different. So you have to factor that in as
well. But yeah, so obviously, we're now looking at time, back to our timeline. So 1 o'clock married, out to 1:30, maybe 1:45, 2 hours drink reception. That gives you your photographer time to get your family photos. We personally like to do your family photos straight away. Then go and say, right, go and see your guests. Go and have your canapes, go and have a drink and everything like that. And then probably about 15 minutes before everyone then gets called in, we then take you for half an hour. So by the time everyone has gone in, so you go and see the room, we'll take you for your half an hour. And then by the time that is, everyone's gone to sit down, then obviously things like your speeches, factor in that time. Tell people you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We had one.
I say 7 minutes. 5 to 7 minutes is probably the best amount of time for speeches.
For you guys, what do you prefer? Do you prefer speeches before or after?
For me, before.
Nail?
Yeah, definitely before.
For me, before. Sometimes if it has been a very, very long day and I kind of like my legs are aching, I'm like, I kind of wish they were after. But yeah, I say before. I think that always benefits the couple as well. Obviously, I wouldn't say it benefits the guests because again, they're probably sitting there for another.
Oh my god, I want food!
Just give me that food. But then the groom can just sit down after his speech and just relax and enjoy his meal.
Best man.
The best man, especially because that's the most pressure.
Yeah.
The grooms have the easiest speeches. I think you stand up, thank everybody, and then just talk about your lovely wife for 5 minutes.
But then, like you say, if you know you've got...
I've seen a lot of bride speeches as well this year.
I will be speaking at my wedding.
I've seen a lot of bride speeches. I think they're cool. I
like them. But whoever, say you've got 3 people talking.
Traditional 3.
Traditional 3, say.
Father, bride, groom, best man.
Yeah. Tell them it's going to, say, keep it to this much, 10 minutes maximum. We've had one best man this year, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And this is before they ate. 45 minutes. They did not expect him to talk that long. Was it a memorable speech?
What's wrong with him? Why would you speak that long?
No, it was not. But the venue had to come out and discreetly say to the bride and groom, he needs to stop now because
your food is going cold.
The beef's going to be overdone.
Yeah.
But funny enough, he did it he spoke before the groom. So the groom went, thank you very much. He's used up all my time, and did a tiniest minute speech and then sat down. So he lost his
git.
Yeah, but so the best man took 45 minutes for his speech. So the groom literally had about a minute to say, thank you for coming, adore what his wife is, blah blah blah. So literally the timings really overran, and of course then the beef, the chef's worried about the beef and things like that. So, but obviously for you, it's a little bit different. So we can have our point of view and say, actually, we like the speeches before. We think it works well. Obviously for us, aesthetically, the tables are all nice and clean.
Yeah.
But again, obviously, it's all about the food as well, what you're having.
So what from a service point of view, because obviously people don't really know what happens behind the scenes of a service, what happens through there. So how long could the things kind of take and stuff like that?
So as front of house manager for the catering side, I've got 2 different opinions. So for the planning side, I agree with you. Go first. It means they're not nervous. They can enjoy the food. It looks nicer. And it's just clear. I know you say about your guests maybe worrying that they're too hungry, but it's more difficult trying to get them in after desserts and haggling them back in. Get it done out the way. However, from a service point of view, having your speeches after is so much easier. So if you're going for a time sensitive food such as a souffle or a beef Wellington, which is obviously I see a lot of beef Wellington. I don't know about you guys. Love it. It's so good. So, but obviously your chefs are wanting that food to be, the best meal you've had of your life so far. It's probably the most expensive meal you're ever going to have. Yeah. So you don't want that food to be affected. So for speeches to be after, it means that the service can run as it needs to. Yeah. Speeches go over all the time. Yeah. So with the timeline thing, we've sort of talked about adding extra time here. We call it buffer time. Yeah. Add buffer time for your speeches. Yeah. Tell your guests you won't, let's say again, 3 traditional speeches, 5 to 7 minutes. That's 15 to 20 minutes, but actually allocate half an hour for speeches because it will overrun.
It can run over. Hecklers
it always
and stuff.
will. It always will. If it ends early, great. The chefs aren't bothered by that. Service team isn't bothered by that. Yeah. But running over, that's when you're starting to tick away at the food and the quality of your food. So yeah, for service, it is so much easier for it to be after.
Speeches after.
We can. We had a wedding the other day where they had speech, then starters, speech, then main.
Bane of your life.
Oh,
doesn't bother me. I just grab a camera and off and go.
Every videographer on this planet will hate any people who go in between every other speech. Yeah. I get it. I've had quite a few this year where it is after mains, and they'll do it after mains, that's okay. That's not too bad.
Yeah, desserts aren't
too bad.
Yeah, not time sensitive. So
the ice cream could stay in the
fridge,
freezer, whatever. So that's okay. But then, and obviously the guests have been fed to a certain point. But doing it try and just put it all together. Do not split up speeches. It's not ideal.
But you got a nice flow then, actually, between each person.
Yeah. So I dated that after I've had me start and I've got to wait another 20 minutes just to have me bloody beef afterwards.
Yeah.
Because not only is it got to then I've got to listen to a speech because they've got to clear all the tables.
Yeah.
Pour a bit of champagne, whatever, so you can have a toast.
Yeah.
And then and then they got the same serving again.
Yeah, and you might be the last table.
If I'm on that last table, my God, I'm going to be waiting so long.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, please try and stick it to one.
And again,
time.
having those buffers really, really, really does help.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
I'll just go also say time of the year as well.
Yeah.
I think for the summer, by all means, you can probably have it after a little bit better.
Yeah.
But if you're kind of in a venue that could be quite cold,
yes, or dark,
and having in dark as well, having that after in the winter.
Lighting in venues really
can be quite poor. In some venues can be really, really poor. So when for your photos and for your video, obviously I'm thinking of that aspect of things. It's not going to be most ideal. But then if you're in a room with, my God, however many candles on tables, and also they have the heating on, it can get very warm and stuffy, and people are going to have to sit there and try and focus on listening to a speech when they're really, really warm.
Yeah.
I've been to quite a few venues where it is really warm.
We've had things like
speeches.
TPs, and it's been that hot that literally as soon as they ever start it, they're out.
Yeah.
And then everyone needs to get them back in for the mains and then back out because they're just too hot.
Even in big manor houses where they've got the heating on and there's radiators everywhere and you're starting to sweat now because it's that warm in there.
It's getting a little bit uncomfortable
so
for everyone.
obviously just think about those factors when you're planning that part of the day. But obviously, what was you going to say?
I quite like once you've finished eating, speeches are all done, having that little bit of time before your evening guest. Now, I know some venues love a 2:00 service because they like that because they're straight after your meal. Evening guests are there and you're going straight into your party. Mm-hmm. Now, for me, I like probably about half an hour to an hour where, and this is why 1:00 works brilliantly, where you've got that time again to go and see your guests, go and freshen up, maybe have a few more photos because it's that nice golden time, things like that. Before then, you're there ready to greet your evening guests. Because what we hate to do is pulling people out for some photos because the golden hour, the light's absolutely amazing, and you've got evening guests coming. Yeah. And then we know that the bride and groom wants to be there with their evening guests and saying, "Hi, congratulations," and everything like, "How was your day?" We don't want to be pulling you out for those photos. So having that hour, also for brides want to go and freshen up makeup, re-straighten hair, or change their shoes, anything like that, or go and check in, just have that hour in between your meal and speeches into your evening. Yeah. Because it also gives guests time away as well to go and freshen up and things like that.
And it doesn't have to necessarily be, like you say, worrying about guests sitting around not doing anything. No. You could have, again, another different type of entertainment, a cocktail hour that's specified at this point.
Cocktail hours are becoming quite popular.
I love a cocktail hour.
And the things I've noticed that they're calling it cocktail hour, but there's not actually any cocktails about. So everyone's like,
have a cocktail
where's the cocktails? And they're like, no, it's just something that they call cocktail hour, just so it's infiller in between.
We've seen champagne towers. Here in the UK, we are probably about 15-20 years behind America in weddings and the themes of weddings. So last couple of years now, champagne towers have become really, really a big thing. So they either have it in their drinks reception in after the service and having a cocktail hour, a champagne tower there. But also some people we've had, especially at Hawkstone, they'll have the champagne tower after their wedding breakfast. And they cut the cake and they have a champagne tower. So again, the evening guests, as they come, they've got a drink on arrival as well. Yeah. So it's nice there. So you can have a bit of a cocktail
something
hour.
At least.
Yeah, a little bit there that's more centred and bringing everyone back around
not only
together.
that, especially like say if you're going for a summer wedding, this is where the lighting is probably the most perfect for wedding photos. So your photographer is going to be asking you, can we go out for a few more wedding photos? They're probably going to be the best ones you can have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that kind of lighting is gorgeous and very, very flattering as well. But not only that, you're going to be looking to then go and cut your wedding cake as well before the traditional time. Well, at the minute anyway. It's always just before the first dance, isn't it?
You've still got these formalities to fit in.
You've still got the formalities to fit in as well.
So if we said 3:30 end of drinks reception, half an hour to get them in, do a room reveal, few photos, 4:00.
4:00
we'll say
down.
speeches first.
Yep.
So 4:30 to the end of speeches.
Yep.
And then
you look about
2 hours.
2 hours for service. Depends again on your guest size.
It's usually that, and so you're coming out about half six.
Yeah, that's
and
about
the usual time at the minute for first dance is 7:30 to 8:00. It's either one or the other, depending on whether you've got a DJ who's set up, or a band.
Need a lot longer as
bands
well.
need a little bit longer, but not only depending on what venue you are at, because some venues literally have one room, so you have to be you all have to be cleared out of that room so they can then turn it around for your evening.
Yeah, definitely. You need to give them time. Yeah, and in the planner in me, so on our imaginary timeline, we're saying 6:30. It's probably nearer 7 by the time they're coming out of the wedding breakfast room. So I'd go with first dance at 8. So then you have got that hour, like you say, where they can go and mingle, have those golden hour pics.
Have a few more pictures.
Freshen up a little bit. Freshen up a
bit, especially in the summer. Have a few photos. Again,
the groom code changes into a second shirt.
Yeah, little things. Top tips, having a second shirt for a groom is really, really good as well. But and then obviously you're looking for your 8:00, say first dance. 7:30, 8:00 for your first dance. Another big top tip that we always say, if brides are having a first dance with dad, do it before your first dance.
Yeah, because it's like handing them over.
Again, it's another nice moment.
It's one of the most nicest moments, but it is a party killer. It is a party killer.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you can imagine where you do the first dance first, everyone always comes on to join you, and now you've got to kick everyone back off the dance floor for them to invite dad on.
Absolutely.
Which then obviously you try and invite people back on again.
But no one ever does then.
Yeah,
they sometimes do. If anything, that number has halved.
Yeah.
That number is halved. So if you were to flip it around and do it the other way, so father and daughter dance first, it's quite nice again that he hands you back off to your now husband.
Yeah.
So to then go and obviously go and do your first dance, everyone that can enjoy it, and the DJ or band can then just hit the party off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and I think
definitely.
I liked you said like cake cut normally always first before first dance. I'll be honest, I hate cake cutting. I hate it. I'll probably get cancelled for this, but I just think it's such an anti-climactic.
Get out.
I think it's such an anticlimactic event. You gather all your people together and you count down from 3 and you...
But no one gets involved. This is the thing that's getting to me at the moment.
It's just us two shouting, 3!
Apart from, I know one DJ, and when they do the cutting the cake, he gets everyone around them, and he actually plays Sweet Caroline.
So they're all getting the party
going,
mood.
Sweet Caroline, bop, bop, and then everyone's then involved in that cutting the cake, and it does, and then the bride and groom cutting the cake, and they're going way like this, and then get onto that dance floor. But it is such
it's a party killer. If you do it that way,
in so many different spaces where it's like you do the cake cut in one space and then everyone has to move
to.
It doesn't make sense.
It's disjointed.
Yeah, it's disjointed. So it's like, do it. Yeah, I like I've seen a couple where they've got a really good song in the background while they do it, and then it's straight onto the dance floor, and that works really, really well. Or
make an entrance.
Yeah,
have an entrance. I love an entrance to. Obviously, you have an entrance. Obviously, when everyone welcomes you into your wedding breakfast, but then when obviously your evening guests there, have another entrance. Yeah. Obviously, sometimes brides change their dress, so they've got a different dress.
Some venues do that. Some venues naturally do that, and that's what they like to do. So they re-enter you into that, so you can go straight into the first dance if you've already cut the cake prior.
In some venues,
have it for your canapes. I'll plug that because I think that's a really great idea.
In some venues,
only because I'll be eating all of it.
In some venues, also they have to, after your wedding breakfast, kick you out to then turn the room ready round for the evening.
Yeah, we just
like
I just said before.
At that point, that lends itself to them getting all the guests in. Again, whilst maybe you're having photos or you're spending 10 minutes getting freshened up, they can get all the guests in and then have another big announcement to get your DJ or your band just doing that really, really funky song, whatever, that really represents you guys. We had a wedding this year and they were in the military, and a lot of their guests, I think it was about 30 guests in military uniforms.
Nice.
It was such amazing.
It was the longest guard of honour I've seen. Where they have the swords and they all walk underneath. There's about 16 on either side.
Oh, wow.
But they had a song from the Top Gun theme.
I'll
tell you what,
because he was in the RAF.
He was in the RAF.
And
it was such an amazing. You need to get this clip out, I think, on that because it was such amazing laugh that everyone was in their napkins, and it probably took about 3 or 4 minutes for everyone just to calm down after that. But it was such an entrance, and I think that again is brilliant. But then again, I know we talk to a lot of couples at wedding fairs and things like that. A lot of couples don't want that. They want some couples want to come in with the bride with the guest because they don't want to have the attention.
Yeah,
and that's the biggest thing that they go. Actually, I don't want that attention. And my argument always to that is, every day you go to work, you come home, you cook your tea, you watch a bit of telly, and you go to bed, and it's Groundhog Day. This is the only day it's about you, and the focus is on you two as a couple.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, make the most of it.
Enjoy it, because I know, some people will hate that, but hell, it's only one day.
Yeah.
It's one day.
Why not?
Enjoy
So if we kind of go through a summary of that, so if you go for a summary, Beth, of everything,
add one quick tip. So, because we think that's for us as suppliers, the formalities first dance it's over, but obviously there's still you still need a little bit of a structure for that evening.
Evening food as well.
And exactly, yeah. So with the with your DJ or your band, I'd always suggest having your classic oldie songs first, because your grandparents won't want to be up till, well, they might do, you never know. So top tip for the music, for the DJ and the band, play your oldie classic songs first that your grandparents, your parents will love, so that if they can get up on the dance floor with you, you can capture that moment on video and photo, and then by the time it gets to 10:30, 11, they're ready for bed. And then you can get into your
dance clubs, everything, whatever.
Techno,
rock,
drum and bass, whatever you're into.
I like that. I'd probably just add that. Probably try and mix it in.
Oh yeah.
Because you want to have the after the first dance, you need that song to lift,
get everyone
dancing. Usually, try and pull your grandparents stuff, and then obviously, hopefully, ABBA or something like that. Dancing Queen, usually the main one, isn't it? So.
Hey, think when you get married, I'll be the parent that will be rocking on till 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying
glow
this.
sticks going, the lot.
To be fair,
I could see you KO'd by 10.
No.
Should be the last, but you'll have to drag her off the dance floor.
Couple of glass of wines.
I'll be fine.
And then, so again, just the obviously you've got evening food, but again, that normally runs pretty smoothly from the catering side.
I've been watching on loads of TikToks and things like that. Obviously, we tend to have gone by then. So normally, sunset, first dance, boogie on the dance floor. When we think we've got enough, unless obviously we've got fireworks, things like that, we tend to go.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like,
so we don't see anything past that.
We never see anything past that. But I've heard that a lot of people are saying to their guest, as an evening guest, just go. Yeah. Don't come and say goodbye.
Yeah, Irish goodbye.
Don't go and say goodbye. Yeah. Just go, because what I don't want to spend an hour going, oh, thank you very much for coming, and then you go, oh, I love this song. Damn, I missed it. Oh, are you going now? Oh, yeah, lovely to see you. Thank you very much for the gift. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Just go.
Yeah.
And let me enjoy that evening.
Again, depends on the bride and groom or the couple, whether they want that to be the case. But I think it's a good thing. It's almost take it as a guest, take it as that you're going to be doing an Irish goodbye, unless the bride and groom make it obvious.
And not only that, I'm starting to say goodbye before the first dance as well, so I don't have to then go up into the mid-party and say goodbye and start saying goodbye to everyone.
As a supplier, so as a planner, obviously I'm there till the end anyway.
Yeah.
But as a catering side or venue coordination side, I would never go and interrupt them and say goodbye, because unless I needed to, or but I leave them to it, and then
so we're not being rude.
Yeah, you're just leaving them to it. You don't, their formalities. As soon as that first dance is pretty much done, that's when they can really breathe. And I always say that's my favourite part of a wedding day is that's the moment that the couple really sort of just relax into it, and they spend the night, enjoying. And then again, the only last logistical thing timeline wise is make sure on your invites you have put what time it's ending, your carriages, because you will have guests go, oh, I thought I could book a taxi at 12 o'clock to get, and it's not going to happen. So have your carriages time on your invite so your guests know fully well. But again, that could be down to venue restrictions and different things,
or
band restrictions. You don't want people lingering around. If you do, I mean, at Hawkstone, it was great because once the band and the bar had closed, they could go into a separate room, and you could, a lot of the guests stayed up till 4 a.m. drinking a bottle of wine, but as long as to the majority of your guests, this is the time we're ending, then that, logistically it shouldn't go wrong.
Yeah.
Touch wood.
But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can make a bit of a timeline, and if anyone wants a average timescale for a wedding that they can.
Yeah, we'll make our own little PDF or something.
Yeah, and pop us a message, and then I'll definitely send it out. So, like I say, if there's something that...
I'll tell you what, we'll drink. I wish I could drink. we'll drop it in the link to this episode, whether it's on YouTube or anything. I'll drop a link, so we'll get that ready and we'll put that in there. So we'll kind of go over a little bit of a summary. So obviously, Beth, do you want to do this summary for us? We'll go over it as the planner and the events coordinator. So quick little timing summary.
Yes. Okay. So have a morning schedule. Base your morning schedule on your ceremony time, which is one of the first things you'll get booked. Add buffer time everywhere. Make sure you are having enough time during your drinks reception to actually speak and mingle with your guests and get those photos that you're wanting. Make sure you see your room because you've put your time and effort into that room. Make sure you allocate time for that. Add buffer time for literally herding your guests to and from, transport, all of it. Make sure that there's enough time in that timeline to cover it. Buffer time for speeches, again, and then there's the pros and cons to each before or after when you put your speeches around the meal. Again, then have a nice bit of time after the meal to freshen up, get those golden hour pics if it's summer. And then head into your evening reception with your evening guests, get your cake cut, first dance, father and daughter dance, and then your first dance with your new partner out of the way, and you spend the night dancing on the dance floor. I think that summed it up, didn't it?
I think that summed up very well. Obviously, how we always end our podcast is we always ask our guests for their personal top tip of a wedding. So I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm not sure if you've listened to a few and actually realised we do this.
Okay, I've got one. Yeah,
go on.
So my top tip for your wedding is we are sat here as industry pros, suppliers. We know the ins and outs of the weddings, but at the end of the day, it's your wedding. Do it your way.
Love that.
Perfect.
I love that. I think that kind of sums everything up perfectly and ends this podcast really, really well. But if you have enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe on YouTube, or if you're listening over on Spotify, drop us a 5 stars. Any comments on anything would be great. It would be great to see what you want on. But all best details will be in the description below. How can they find you if they listen to this? How can they find you on Instagram or? So
my Instagram handle is Bootiqueweddingandevents, but spelt BOO because I often get called Boo. So yeah, that's where you'll find me. That ties with our little Halloween theme here. It does. Perfect timing. Boo. Yes. Instagram, TikTok, and my website www.bootiqueweddingandevents.co.uk.
Love it. Perfect.
Thank you very much.
So, thank you for listening. So
see you soon.
Yeah, see you in the next one.